Listen, don't underestimate this announcement right here. This is brand new. We had something similar, but this is brand new. And I think this might be monumental to how you can drive on Uber Eats, which is big. So this was just announced, look, a couple of days ago. Coming soon, changes to Uber Eats Pro just days ago. Now look at this. Only in some marketplaces. Let me know if you drive for Uber Eats. I drive and I've tried most every single major gig app, including food delivery. And it says we're piloting changes to Uber Eats Pro in a few locations. Now, listen, I just reported on this, the changes to Uber Pro and Uber Eats Pro, and Uber changing your driver criteria of what profile you were under. So for me, for instance, I had rideshare and I had food delivery, but they were going to change me from Uber Pro to Uber Eats Pro. Now look at this. It's similar, but let's read on. In a few cities, they're changing this. Lincoln, Nebraska, Abilene, Texas, Evansville, Indiana, Florida Keys, Florida, that include updated eligibility criteria, a new planning tool, which is going to be the main thing I want to talk about today, and how the planning tool is different than what we just saw. And it affects how, yes, you can go online, how you can drive here. And a new reward that can give you access to more high-paying deliveries. Now, look, Uber says right here, this is the biggest thing I want to tell you right now. This is different. Uber says this pilot is separate from the live Uber Eats Pro pilots in these cities. This is different, folks. Look, let me show you. So they say it's different than the current live, what is it? The launch here. This is the launch that we've known about. This has only been live for like a month and a half. You can see here, October 1st. This was the initial announcement talking about Uber Eats Pro, and they're going to have basically right here, including Pittsburgh, on earlier this month here in November. This was the announcement, basically creating their own Dasher Rewards competitor. They said, hey, preferred deliveries, we call it. It's going to be based on, in parts, your acceptance rate, which is right here. When it starts, 30% acceptance rate for gold, 50% platinum and diamond. And then in December, it matches Dasher Rewards at 50 and 70 respectively. You get access to higher paying deliveries, right? This is different than what was just announced. Let me go back to that. Drop a like on this video if you appreciate me bringing this to you first here. Uber says explicitly, yeah, this is different than that. This is not that. So let me show you what's launching. This is in just a couple of weeks, this different iteration that they threw something massive in here. Let me continue that this is different. So look, this is directly from Uber here. So they said, reliable deliveries, keep your customers coming back, et cetera, et cetera. Soon we're starting to pilot changes to the Uber Eats Pro program in select cities. Okay, we just detailed that in the initial launch, October 1st. Okay. Couriers who accept more requests, cancel less, and provide reliable service will receive priority access to higher paying deliveries. Okay, Mike, that's what Salt Lake City had, and that's what 10 other marketplaces got November, 1st, including your marketplace of Pittsburgh. Yes. Let's continue because something is different. And I think it's kind of massive. Number one, we're updating the criteria for achieving Uber Eats Pro, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond status, including adding acceptance rating to the new criteria. Yep, that one was what was already announced. Number two, we are introducing a tool called a planner, where green and gold couriers can reserve available times in advance to go online with Uber Eats. This is only going to be in these marketplaces in a couple of weeks. December 1st, let me get out of the way there. Again, Lincoln, Nebraska, Abilene, Texas, Evansville, Indiana, and Florida Keys, Florida. 1, 2, 3, only 4 marketplaces. Get this brand new planner tool. I'm going to show you what's breaking, what is it, and how it literally affects when you can drive for Uber Eats. Because think about this. All right. What's the difference between DoorDash and Uber Eats as far as going online? Let me ask you, comment in the live chat if you're watching the replay. Just comment right now. How do you feel the difference is going online? So on DoorDash, okay, I have Dash now if it's busy enough. There's demand and or they need Dashers, and I can go online instantly with Dash Now only if it's available. And then option 2, I schedule a Dash because sometimes the Dash Now isn't available and it's beneficial to schedule a shift. And I can just, plan out my driving right. On Uber Eats, how do you go online with Uber Eats? Okay, well, it's the same as Grubhub, right? I go online by clicking the go button and I'm instantly online, a la Dash Now. So what I'm saying is you can basically just go online at any time, typically, as an Uber Eats driver. That might be changing. Let's read on. Okay, so they added this, new Uber Eats Pro eligibility. Yep, that's basically the same thing as the initial October 1st launch of preferred deliveries. And they detail it right here. The same thing I just showed you, 30, 50, and 50 to start. And then when it really goes live in those marketplaces, you go 50, 70, 70 AR, acceptance rating, to mirror Dasher rewards. But here's what we're talking about today. Here's some more changes. This is the same metrics as preferred deliveries. That was announced October 1st, right here. Let's go over this. Coming soon, Planner. We are introducing a tool called Planner to help you stay busier when you're online and ensure customers get reliable deliveries. With Planner, green, which is the default Uber Eats couriers. Everyone starts at green. It's like the blue level with Uber Pro, but we're talking about Uber Eats Pro only for couriers, okay? Green, default couriers, and gold couriers, which is level 1 of preferred deliveries, the new kind of Dasher Rewards competitor, okay? So level 1 couriers can reserve available times in advance to go online with Uber Eats. During reserved times, and this is the biggest part right here, so lean into this. During reserved times, couriers have guaranteed access to go online. But outside of reserved times, green and gold couriers will only be able to go online when demand is high. I hope that that hit for you. Again, during reserved times on this planner tool right here, this is brand new to only 4 markets in December. During reserved times, couriers have guaranteed access to go online. Outside of any reserved times, if you do not reserve times, standard couriers, everyone, and level 1 preferred delivery on gold will only be able to go online when demand is high. That is massive. That is mirroring DoorDash now, and something that I've called out just a couple of weeks ago, guys, I would love you to have your own organic platforms, but more and more and more, the platforms simply mirror each other. And I've said Uber tends to mirror DoorDash, not vice versa. So what is happening, to put it simply, December 1st, 4 marketplaces, you can't go online at any time. So yes, you don't have to go for preferred deliveries. You don't have to increase your acceptance rate to the trial period of 30% or the official launch of 50%. You don't have to go for preferred deliveries, but you are no longer going to be guaranteed to be able to go online as an Uber Eats courier in these 4 marketplaces in December. That is massive. Why? Because you need to have planner. You need to schedule shifts here. If you schedule a shift, then boom, you're fine. You can go online with Uber Eats, they say right here. With planner, you can reserve available times in advance. During the reserved times, you're guaranteed to have access to go online. So that's basically saying like you're guaranteed to dash now. Okay. So you're guaranteed to go online with Uber Eats now. But if you do not have reserved times, everybody and level 1 preferred, you'll only be able to go online when demand is high. Let's continue, but that is massive. I mean, we have to talk about this. I'm going to take your Q&A right after this, but I want to get this info to you first here. Gold couriers, level 1, get early access to planner starting Thursday a.m. to reserve available times to go online for the following week. So Thursday, you can schedule for that next week as gold. Everyone, like standard couriers, if you're not on preferred delivery, which is green level, green can reserve available time starting the next day, Friday a.m. for the following week. That is also massive. Now look here, platinum and diamond level 2 and 3 can continue to go online at any time. There's a lot to digest here. So basically what that says right here, platinum and diamond couriers can continue to go online at any time. That it is, again, almost mirroring exactly the initial benefit of Dasher Rewards. When DoorDash first announced Dasher Rewards, you were guaranteed to have Dash Now at certain levels. Now that's been somewhat tweaked where you have preferred access to Dash Now. It might be guaranteed on Platinum, I'm trying to remember here. But there's 2 takeaways. This is encouraging everyone to go for preferred deliveries. Why? Because 1, if you're on preferred deliveries as a gold level 1, you can schedule shifts a day before everyone else for the following week. Why does that matter? Because if you don't schedule, including gold couriers, you cannot go online anymore at any time, only when demand is high. Now, the question is, how frequently will you be blocked from going online with Uber Eats? Like, let me ask you, how often is Dash Now unavailable? How often is Dash Now unavailable? It's going to be the same exact thing on Uber Eats. I'm not saying like, when one's not available, the other one's not available. I'm just saying that it could not be available. We've never had a time where you have to worry about going online with Uber Eats. I mean, there might have been beta program, smaller market tests, but at large, you can always hit that go button. You can always go online. So let's continue to summarize. They're encouraging you to go for Dasher Rewards. You can schedule a day in advance. And then with Dasher Rewards, with preferred delivery. With preferred delivery on Uber Eats, as a ranked courier, you can schedule shifts a day in advance. I guarantee some of your marketplaces, highly competitive. So imagine you're locked out of scheduling until the next day. How many couriers are going to get in front of you to schedule a shift? It might not affect you. It might not affect you for the next day or next week. You could still go online at any time, but only if it's busy enough, right? And then lastly, for those that are not on preferred deliveries, if you're a green courier, that's your standard, right? Then you can start scheduling on Friday. Now listen, and I'm going to take your Q&A. And I can see there's a lot of discussion here. I want to get this info to the folks watching in the replay here. And you can certainly post your questions if you're watching the replay down below in the comments. Please do that. If you're a standard non-ranked courier green, and you have to wait an extra day to schedule, for the following week here. Again, is it going to push some green regular couriers to try to bump up the AR, to try to get preferred deliveries. What about the casual driver? DoorDash has released stats that 80 some percent plus of their dashers dash for less than 10 hours. I think it's even less than 5 hours. And then 90% are dashing less than 10 hours a week. So if you're not dashing a lot, or in this case, doing Uber Eats a lot, you don't have a lot of reps. You don't have a lot of offers. You don't have a lot of chances to even influence your acceptance rate. So are you going to have to drive more to increase your acceptance rate? You're going to have to be choosier. You're going to have to accept more because it's valuable to you to schedule a shift. Are certain shifts going to be unavailable? Are certain shifts going to be I'm sorry, you used to always go online after work, after 5 p.m. That was your time, because you got stuff in the evening, you got family and whatnot. So you always went online 5:15 until 8 p.m. and then you went home. So are there going to be windows here under Planner where the gold couriers take it or the platinum or diamond couriers take it? Now it's more competitive to snag your 5:15 until 8 p.m. So now you can't even, be guaranteed that you're going to be able to drive. A lot to discuss here. This is Planner. This is what I wanted to show you today. It's only in 4 marketplaces in December. One last time. Lincoln, Nebraska, Abilene, Texas, Evansville, Indiana, and Florida Keys, Florida. If you're in those marketplaces, please report back. December 1st, in a couple of weeks, you're getting this second iteration, I'll say, of Uber Eats Pro. We saw the first iteration announced October with Salt Lake City, and then November with 10 other markets. This is the same thing, but this is a different iteration. It's the same thing, but it's tweaked with Planner right here. This is the biggest thing right here. And sure, DoorDash has scheduling. DoorDash on Dasher Rewards has advanced scheduling. Let me show you real quick because I think it's very important to show you this. So DoorDash has this. They have advanced scheduling, and it's reserved for gold and platinum dashers. Schedule dashes up to 6 days in advance. So if you don't have that rewards level, then you can't schedule. This is the same exact thing, right? But I want to take your questions here because this is going to be quite the reaction, I think. We need to talk about how fast is this going to expand? What does this say about both companies releasing programs that are basically the same exact thing? Dasher rewards, preferred deliveries, and again, this we saw. DoorDash announced it first. DoorDash announced Dasher rewards in what? I'm trying to even remember here. Mid 2023. We're about into 2025 now. So they did it first. And Uber Eats is just announcing preferred deliveries. So it's clear who's mirroring the other. But let me know. Let me know your thoughts on this Planner tool. Is it coming to your marketplace? Do you think it's going to expand? What is it going to do to scheduling? What is it going to do to your ability to go online at any time?